Good evening, guys. Welcome. I'm back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. Yes, so some of you probably know where that my Facebook, my other profile got completely shut down. So I was not able to, for a little while I got my other accounts back and active, was not able to, communicate with you guys. So I've missed you all, and welcome back. I thought I would touch on something that could be quite relevant to the time. I think it's a conversation that's been had several times, but I feel like, particularly for my community, I want us to really understand how just some of the things that we're observing or believe we're observing are actually holding you back, and the kind of meanings you're making out of these things are holding you back. And this is like the myths around success and the image that most people have of being successful is basically a myth. Like, a lot of people who we see, who we think are doing well, which in some aspects they are doing exceptionally well, but often in other areas they're not, because they're human. And what I see a lot of people doing is comparing their lives and somebody else's successes and somebody else's image against their own success or their own place in this kind of race, because again there's this comparison often, and by having that, what it does is it keeps people very stuck in scarcity, very stuck in fear of not being enough, fear of feeling inferior. And whenever you are doing anything from that space, hi Gandhi, nice to see you. Whenever you're doing anything from that space, what you're creating is technically more of that, because there is always going to be somebody doing better, is better than you, has more experience, has more connections, has more money, is better looking. There's always going to be that person. But when you focus on comparing lifestyles that aren't actually legitimately real, like I'm telling you, there's a lot of scandalous things that you don't know about the lives of people that you might look up to, who you might think, oh my god, she's got this perfect life, she's got this, and because people are only going to show you one side. Like, that is what media does. It's about, and social media, it's about painting a picture so that you may want to buy into that. But I'm here to tell you that, there is no pretty picture to paint. If you are going on that journey where you want to break through the limitations that you have set yourself, first and foremost, don't believe the hype. Don't believe, and when I say don't believe the hype, like, some of the claims people make are false, straight up. Some of them are true. Some of them omit certain bits of information. And so what we've got to avoid doing is concentrating on what's going on outside and what other people are doing, saying, achieving, accomplishing, because first and foremost, the comparison will just kill your vibe. People sit often from a place of inferiority, thinking, well, I can never be as good as this person, so I'm not going to try. Or, there's no point me starting now because, A, B, and C are doing this, and I don't compare, and I don't have the family, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. And you just create all these excuses and reasons why you are not doing what you need to be doing to be where you want to be, because this is all a place of kind of mindset, strategy, and action. You've got to, one, believe that it's kind of possible for you to have this version of success. And furthermore, let's just clear up on one or two things, because what does success actually mean? And if you are defining success by somebody else's standards, you are going to be living an inauthentic life, because what is successful to me is definitely probably not the same definition of success for another person, you know. And often we equate material success as personal success, and this is why you have so many people that fight and chase and lose family members and have divorces and do all kind of things in the pursuit of money, because they somehow believe that that is going to make them valuable, that is success. When actually, when they get there, they realize that success is, you know, having great relationships in life and having good health and being able to get up every day and do what you want and travel when you want, and you don't have to worry about money. And somebody else's success could be a completely different narrative. So you've really got to find what success means for you, because your life success is determined by you. And when you compare it by somebody else's version, it's not authentic to you. And this is what causes a lot of people stress. They're living inauthentic lives. They feel like they have to pretend. They feel like they have to keep up with the Joneses. They feel like they have to, you know, live this and look and keep up this mirage, and it becomes very difficult. And your mask does and can and will slip off, because it's not you, you know. So you've really got to identify, you know, what's true for you, and also recognize what a lot of people are showing you and sides that they're showing you are just not real. And so you can't compare yourself to an illusion, because you're measuring a standard that's just not even real. And sooner that you understand these things, if you're, you know, in that space of not doing certain things because you feel like, you know, I can never, you know, I don't have the look, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, you know. And also, to add to this conversation, is that, you know, everyone has their own path and their own destination to their success, or what I call success is being able to actually actualize the visions that you have inside for your life and the things that you would like to do. And so if there are things that you would like to do but you're stuck, there's really three reasons. One, you just are very much afraid and you're only seeing the chances of it failing. So it's fear is really holding you back. Like, it's the fear of the unknown, it's the fear of not showing how it's going to work, it's the fear of failure, so you don't make or take action because of that. Then there's other people that they're actually not afraid, it's just they genuinely just don't know the strategy, they just don't know how to do it. You know, and I see this a lot in business owners who are starting projects. So they've got the drive to start the project, and they've got the, you know, they're fearless, but they just don't have the strategy or technique, whether it's, you know, you don't know how to attract the right people into your projects or get customers. Like, it's just, and that's just strategy. That's just like learning how to drive a car. Once you know the gears and you know how to do it, you can replicate the same success. But what a lot of people do is they are watching people who know the strategy and are using even the strategy, and then feeling like, because they don't know something, that they're inadequate, or their work's not good, or their project's not great enough, or their creations or whatever they're trying to promote isn't good enough. And that's not the case. It's just that you just don't know how to do something. And you can learn it, you know, like anything. You learn how to walk, you learn how to talk, you learn how to do a lot of things. You definitely can learn how to do other things, like, you know, make £20,000 a month, or, you know, retire at 50. But you've got to really understand the fundamental principles of what this requires. And one beautiful, and for those of you who will see it on the replay, or two, welcome, guy. I can't see your comments, so if you are commenting, I apologize. So foundation, so this is something I teach. It's like a core principle of everything that I do in my own business and with the people that I work with, in terms of giving them the best foundation to really build upon, which is really defining what wealth actually is and what money means. Because we're all in business. I went into business to make money. Now I'm doing it more because I want to do things that I love every day, but I also love making money. So, and I'm not afraid to say that. And that has led me to understanding what it really takes to do that. And the first and most important thing is understanding that wealth is actually not about how much money you have. It's about something fundamentally more intangible, but with greater substance. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, you probably all heard of stories of millionaires that have won the lottery, and within 3 years they are flat dead broke. So someone can have money and not be wealthy, just like somebody can be quite wealthy and not really have. It's possible, because wealth is everything you have when you lose your money. Wealthy people, for example, if every single penny in Oprah's bank got hacked and just went, Oprah would be able to make that money back within days, because her audience and what she's created, the connections, the respect, the brand equity, the audience, the track record, what she's created is her wealth. So it has nothing to do with the amount of money she has. She could lose it tomorrow and still put out an offer or do a show and get God knows how many people sponsoring, paying, buying, attending. She can make it back. So wealth isn't about money. It's about the things that create money, which are your intellectual property, like what you know. You can do things and know things about something that somebody else doesn't. That's wealth, but you don't know how to translate that into money, which is what a lot of people struggle with. Then you also have your connections. People are valuable. They're more valuable than money, because if someone can introduce you or show you somebody who could invest $100 million into your business, without that connection, you wouldn't have got the opportunity. So your connections are really important, because they can connect you to the right people who can help you solve your problems. Your reputation. People deal with people they trust and they like. So the more squeaky clean and the best you keep your reputation and your track record with the results that you create and what you've done, the more you build wealth. Because over time, that reputation, that credibility, those track records are going to be represent you and what you've done. So wealth is something that you do grow over time. And the more you understand how to exchange your wealth, your value, your knowledge, your connections, your skills in a way that empowers you, in a way that doesn't undermine you and undersell you, and to people who actually value what you have, this is how you now start to create real wealth, like cash flow. Because now people are willing to exchange your wealth, your real wealth, your skills, your time, your knowledge, your expertise, your connections, and what you can do, the who's, you knows, the historical stuff that you've done. People have so much assets. I meet people who didn't even know they had what they had, and we put it in a nice package, and within days they've made tens of thousands of pounds of something that they didn't even know the value of. Because people always think of the wrong things when it comes to really understanding what true value is and what true wealth is. And it's definitely not money, I'll tell you that. It's everything else but money. It's everything you're left with if you lost all your money. And I think this is a really good foundation to really understand when you are thinking about, I want to create a new financial future for myself. I want to create a life for myself. These are some of the things that I want to do in my life. These are some of the things I want to experience. These are the kind of relationships that I want. This is the kind of business that I want to have. This is the kind of work lifestyle that I want to have. When you get really clear on these things, and you're building it off the principle of a wealth foundation, which is I want to do something that in a space, in an industry, within a mission. Because I always say the only way you can actually stay in and with something for a long time and build yourself in it is something you're passionate about it. If you're not passionate, if you're not really moved by it, if it's not something that's like part of your soul, like it's just something you know you're supposed to be doing, then chances are you're gonna not stick it out. Because believe you or me, the myth people make out like, oh, run a business, it's so great, you'll make lots of money, oh wow, and you have lots. It's not like that. I mean, you can, but you've got to really understand certain things and have a team and people around you who can help you, show you, do certain things, because it's building a business is not a one-man band. You need teams, to really build it. And often people get stuck in this, wondering why their business isn't growing and why they're not making enough money. It's because you're trying to do everything yourself. And something I really preach against, because I know what it's to do that and burn yourself out, burn relationships, fail because you just were too controlling, or you just didn't feel like you wanted to rely on anybody. But if you want to be a business person, believe you and me, you got to be relying on people, and it's just what it is. And if you can't do that, then don't go into business. I mean, yeah, you can be a solopreneur, but again, you're still going to have to do things you don't like, be visible, show up, work with people, and it's just really important. So I don't really want to paint a picture ever. My brand is about being authentic and being real. My life is by far from perfect, and I'm not great in all areas of my life, but I know what I am good at, and I'm quite okay with that. And I want other people to feel okay about that as well. Like, you're not going to have it all figured out. You are going to have parts of your life that are messy, but that doesn't take away from your greatness. That doesn't mean you're not good enough. That doesn't mean you can't teach people, because you can teach people about the things that you are good at. That doesn't mean you can't serve people. And the moment we start to get away from this mindset and feeling like we've got to be perfect and, living up to this fake ideal of what people do and have, just really forget about it. It's going to just keep you stuck, and you don't want to be stuck. You want to grow, you want to thrive, and you've got to be okay with defining, everything around you, like what wealth means to you, what kind of life you want, what success means to you, how you want your life to live, and that's personal to you. And you don't need to prove yourself to anybody, but just accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. So I'm really encouraged by, I say encouraged, I mean, I guess I'm normal, I'm human. I want people to listen to what I say, because I feel like I do have an important message, and I feel like my message has substance to it. I'm not just sharing, the general, oh yeah, think positive and everything will flow. I'm being real. Like, you have to do a lot of work within yourself at all times, because success, whatever that means to you, it doesn't come easy, and it's not supposed to. And you always have to move to a new level of thinking or a new level of consciousness whenever you're trying to step out of a realm that you've been stuck in. And if you're stuck in a pattern and you keep repeating the same thing, or you're doing the same thing that you don't like, it's not that you can't, it's not that you're not good enough, it's not any of that. It's just that your awareness that you have needs to be elevated, and you can't elevate a mind that is already stuck in its own consciousness. You need people or constant information or things to really help you share, whether it's a new strategy, whether it's new connections, new knowledge. Like, you need that in order to move out. And if whatever you're doing, you're just going to keep doing the same thing and just you will get the same results. You have to get out of that place, and part of doing that is never comparing yourself to what other people's version of success means, what other people are doing or not doing. Like, don't let it be your concern. Focus purely, everyday intention of what you need to be doing in the moment you're thinking about another person, and how you can be doing that thing in order to build your wealth, and consistently doing that thing in order to build your wealth. So that was my message, folks. If there's any questions, any comments, I do want to leave you on a note that I'm putting together. So for those of you who don't know, like my passion, I'm a geek. I'm a teaching geek. So I just absorb information like a junkie, literally. Like I wake up and read. I love reading and writing. It's like my passion. So I do that in my business. And it's funny because I actually set my intention last year that I didn't want to do anything else but write every day. That's all I wanted to do. And I wanted to, and I do that now, which is really cool. Well, I say it's really cool. You sometimes be careful what you wish for. But yeah, the point is that I'm putting together a very, very powerful training. And this is really going to cover what I call your wealth, your flight path. Like, you cannot get to a destination, whether that's in business, whether that's even driving, without a map. Like, what am I going to do first? What do I need to do first? What do I need to do second? What do I need to do third? And what do I need to do consistently every day to get there? So I'm going to be doing a training program. I'm scheduling it, I think, around the 13th or 15th. I will put a link in, and I will be sharing more about this in the group, but it'll be sometime next week. And it won't be on Facebook because I'm bringing you guys off. In fact, let me put the link in now. We still need to update the date, so it might not be correct on there, but just still look at it. And yeah, you should join me. For those of you who've never done any kind of deep, in-depth training or masterclasses with me before, I think this could be very useful to you. Like, I genuinely think it could be. You're gonna learn something, and maybe, just maybe, you can take that learning and apply it and use it, and you know, something great is gonna happen. So anything with me for that, please do. You don't have to pay, so don't worry, it's free. And I would love to see you. But thank you for all my loyalists and all my fans and all my haters and all my lurkers and all. I love you all. You're all amazing. And I will see you next time I come live.